Yo, what's going on? We got another episode of the Not So David Dino. We got Sebby Clemens this time, man. This man's crazy. One of the most talented people I've ever met in my entire life. He can do photo, video, design, YouTube, backflips, whatever you want, he can do it. Absolutely insane. So check it out. We have a pretty dope conversation. We kind of talk about how he got started, where he's looking to go, kind of what his inspirations are, all kinds of stuff like that. So check it out. Super exciting. Literally top tier human being. So check it out.
What's up, bro?
What's up, bro?
How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Fabulous. Check the mic real quick. It's gonna.
Bro, it keeps falling.
Goofing, bro. It's doing funny.
I
All
just
right.
fixed it.
I'm gonna get your name. I'm gonna get your social. No, I'm playing. Can you just introduce yourself? What you do, your name, all that fun stuff.
Okay. My name is Sebby. I am a multimedia artist and creative. That's the way that I like to put it.
Nice.
I do
What kind
photography.
of creative? Oh, there you go. You got
yeah,
it.
photography, video, graphic design, music, literally anything creative. That's
And YouTube.
yeah, and YouTube.
YouTube.
Well, that falls into the video
How
category.
many subscribers do you have?
I'm at like 204,000.
204 now.
I
You were
think.
like 100 like a few weeks
Yeah,
ago.
I literally
and then-
I got another 100,000 in like a little over a month.
That's wild, bro.
Yeah.
That's pretty insane.
So
Okay. What are the plans as you continue to, climb up those YouTube charts?
I don't know, just continue to improve on the content, kind of make things that are better than the next and improve the production value, I guess. So
Okay,
just trying
fair
to make
enough.
things more.
I see that in your reels, bro.
you know.
Your reels are
Thank
going on.
you.
Even Tonio commented yesterday. He was like, "Your content's top notch," and I was like, "Bro, it is. It's fire."
Thank
So,
you. Well, I'm trying a new setup, lighting.
Uh-huh.
I just created my own LUT, so I'm
Nice.
working with color, and so that's kind of like a test for how the YouTube is gonna go.
Yeah,
so
yeah. Nice.
I'm liking the way it's turning out.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
So I know you started with Spider-Man stuff back
Mhm.
in the day. That's how you started your YouTube, right? Is
Yeah.
that, correct me if I'm
Mhm.
wrong. Can you just tell me about that whole journey of how you love Spider-Man, but then did that for fun and then ended up getting subscribers and then that turned into all this other stuff? Can you walk me through
Yeah.
that?
So it started out. Well, I did kind of vlogs a little bit, kind of challenges, toilet paper forts, back when that was a thing. And then I did kind of some acrobatic videos, so flips, trampoline stuff was my thing for a minute.
And that's from you doing gymnastics,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So I was a gymnast for 7 years. Was a state champion, and that was fun. So I would always make videos kind of when I was out of practice doing flips and trampoline parks and all that. And I did get a couple sponsors from that. I remember. Do you remember Gravity Park?
I do remember
They
Gravity Park.
sponsored me, and they
That's
gave me
actually wild,
free
bro.
tickets to make a
Yeah.
video, and so that was cool.
That's super dope. I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Yeah, so that was the first type of content that I made, and my second ever YouTube video was about a trampoline, and it got 70,000 views.
Nice.
And it
Second
just
YouTube video? What
really
year was
popped
that?
off.
What year was that?
2016 or 17. I
Okay,
think.
nice.
It
So you
was
were 14?
13, 14.
13,
yeah.
14?
I
Yeah.
was pretty young.
That's
middle
wild,
school.
bro. Yeah.
So that was fun, and
Uh-huh.
then I always liked Spider-Man and grew up really loving Spider-Man. So then I made one video about I got a Spider-Man suit, and it was my first Spider-Man suit with
Yeah.
that fit my body, and I made a
Uh-huh.
video on it, and it just took off, and it hit 100,000 views, and it just started
Uh-huh.
growing, and I developed an audience of people that liked that, and so I was obviously I'm gonna have to make more. So I started to kind of just make more videos about that, more Spider-Man stuff, getting more suits, working on them, seeing how I could make them like the movie, and then just more and more people
Just
came and
DIY
just
Spider-Man suits that?
yeah, I'd make magnetic lenses, I'd glue the shoe soles on, and then people just loved to see it. And at the time, that was nobody was doing that at the time. It was just so unique that it was so cool. So it would do well. Every single video I put out about it would just above 10,000 views fast. And then I started getting millions, and I started getting sponsorships, and people were reaching out to me that had costume companies we'll send you free suits, and you make a video on it. So I think my first video that hit 1 million was I got sponsored to open up the Iron Spider suit from Infinity War.
Oh yeah, okay.
And so I went to the movie premiere in my Spider-Man suit, and I like vlogged it.
Yeah.
And that video hit 1 million views. Like, I think it hit 500,000 in like 2 weeks. Like,
That's
just
wild. Yeah.
And I remember I was grounded. I didn't have my
Oh
phone.
my God.
And I found out from like my friend at school, because we were in class, and he's like, bro, your video has 500,000 views. I was like, what? And then like a week later, 800,000. A week later, 1.2 million. And it was just crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy.
So that was cool. I just kept doing it, and it was so unique at the time. Like, now everybody does that. Like, there's a lot of people that do Spider-Man stuff, but when I was doing it, it was so new. So I think that's what helped. Like, I almost like, I don't want to sound like I invented it, because no idea is original, but I definitely would like to think that I helped like pioneer that category of like videos, because I've had so many like bigger names that are big now, like reach out and be like, yo, like, you inspired me. Like, I got my start doing the superhero stuff because of you, and I'm like, that's
so
crazy.
Yeah.
So
what's the guy that you told me about that lived in LA, right? And he started because of you, and now he's like,
Soups, yeah.
He's like 13 mil on TikTok or something.
Yeah,
insane,
he's
or whatever
huge.
it is.
Yeah. So he collabed with me back in 2019, I think.
Okay.
He had like 200 subscribers, and I was like 10K, I think.
Yeah.
And he blew up.
That's crazy.
Now
bro.
he's at the red carpet premieres and stuff, which is cool. But I still work with him. I've been doing some projects that we're working on for art and stuff. And super under wraps, so I can't really talk about it yet. But it's super cool. So
I didn't even know about that.
Doing some cool like storyboarding and like graphic work for him. So I'm his like go-to graphic guy, which is cool.
That's so sick. Nice.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it started out Spider-Man stuff and kind of just evolved into like, I always felt like it was hard to like find a niche or like a area to like categorize my stuff. And so it's been hard, but I've always just been like, make whatever you want to make. Like, as long as I do what I enjoy, like, then I find, happiness in it. And like the Spider-Man stuff was like, for a minute. And it started to feel like a job. Like I was like doing
I have
just
to put out another
because-
video type of thing.
Exactly.
Okay,
so then I was like, let me do things that I just like, that I enjoy. So I did like reactions to Justin Bieber because I love music and Justin Bieber. So I did some reactions for a minute and just all kinds of stuff. Like, let me just make videos about whatever I want. And I think the one thing that stays consistent that I think people will come back for is like me, like my personality. So I have to be sure that I show my personality because if I'm very monotone, then people aren't going to come back for that. So
I think that's something that sticks out a lot with your stuff is like, you're really like, what's up? Like, you're super energetic about it. And so I think the personality plays like a huge role in the people that like actually watch you. So, I mean, at least for me, I think,
Yeah, I think that's important. I'm even now like still like trying to figure out ways that I can incorporate more of like personal things into my stuff, because I think that's something that people can grab onto and like really
like relate to kind of.
Yeah, because no matter what, like I'm someone that like I try so many different things. I do so many different things that I'm gonna change. My content is gonna change a lot over time, and so I want people to stick with me. And in order for them to do that, I have to make sure that they feel a connection to me as a person, as if they're sitting right next to me, like having a conversation like we are now. So like I gotta almost like Peter McKinnon, for example, like everyone knows him for the photography and the video, but he, releases a clothing or something that has nothing to really do with that. And you almost just want to buy it or support it because you like Peter as a person.
Because it came from him.
Yes, you're learning things from him, and yes, you're like gaining knowledge, but like he gives little bits and pieces in his videos of him making coffee, him joking around, him doing a magic trick, and you get to know over time who Peter McKinnon actually is as a human being. So you develop this connection. So then anything he puts out, you're like, I automatically want to buy it. I want to support him because he's just a cool guy. So even if he stops doing photography tomorrow, there would be a lot of people that would still follow up with him because they like who he is and they're attached to who he is. So that's kind of like what I'm really focusing on right now, is trying to like develop that personality more to show to more people, because I feel like I haven't really shown that to the best of its ability yet. And so
I think
there's
as
a
you
lot.
learn to figure out like the person you are, and like as you continue making stuff, you kind of find like your little path that you like to
Right.
go down to.
And everyone's always changing and growing. Like I'm a different person now than I was a
Right.
year ago, 2 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and so it's different. Like I mean, I'm still learning. Like I used to be very like, "What's up, guys? Welcome!"
Like
super,
over the top, you feel
yeah,
like? Okay,
that
yeah.
cliche YouTuber. And I'm trying to like kind of be a little more normal because like
Normal.
I noticed that like it's hard to like
That's funny.
keep up with that energy all the time,
Yeah.
especially when like sometimes you have to film videos and do things when like you're not having the best of days, or you had a personal situation go on or something, and you have to like put up this front. And so
Right.
I think the vulnerability and being honest about like how you're feeling is important. So
Mhm.
like I also want to make content that like is real, like, hey guys, like I'm struggling with this, or I haven't had the best day, or I haven't, but here's how I got through it, because I'm super optimistic. So like
Right.
that's
true.
super.
Yeah.
I think that would help people, because social media is always just butterflies and rainbows. Like, let me
Right.
show the best version of me.
Yeah.
So I want to show like,
Mhm.
hey, I'm human.
The
like,
everything. Yeah. That's good. I'm gonna have you adjust it. It's touching your chest here. I know, bro. It's goofy, bro. I gotta like, I don't know, string it from the ceiling.
I know.
Earlier you mentioned Justin Bieber, and I know you make music, and I know Justin Bieber's like a huge part of your
Mhm.
like life and how you started like getting into music. So can you kind of walk me through that like whole journey of why you liked him, and then how he kind of inspires your music?
Yeah. So I don't know. I think I knew about him like back when like Baby was like the
course,
thing
bro.
when I was
That's-
popping,
yeah,
you know.
uh-huh.
And I think I hated on him a little bit. Like I was like,
Everyone hated
I was
on
like,
him, bro.
oh, like he sounds like a girl. Like everyone said
Yeah,
that, you know.
uh-huh.
But like I would literally like talk like crap about him at school and be like, oh, like he sounds like a girl. Like his music's whatever. And then I'd go home and jam to his music in my room alone. Like it was funny. Like,
Uh-huh.
but I started to like him, and it felt like it was wrong to like Justin Bieber as a guy, because like
Yeah.
he was known for having like all like teenage girl fans.
Yeah.
So as a dude, it was like weird to like Justin Bieber. So I was kind of like a closet fan, you know. Like I just like kept
Fair
it on
enough.
the DL.
Yeah.
And then over time, like as he evolved and like got older, I got older too, and I like started to like look up to him. And
Uh-huh.
I started out like I'd copy his hairstyles and like his
uh-huh.
outfits.
I
and,
noticed
like,
that too. That's so
you know,
funny.
like so it was like I'd be like, oh, like I'd show a picture of Justin Bieber to my stylist and be like, hey, like this is what I want, the shag or
Uh-huh.
the updo, whatever. And so that was cool. But then I just kind of like, as he started to have this arc of like, falling and then redeeming himself, and like this super cool like personal like
Development kind of.
development,
Mhm.
I started to like really be inspired by that and like connect with him. Not just like, hey, like this is just an artist that I like their music or I look up to, but like this is someone that I really like. I feel like I know, like I feel like I see. It's weird. I feel like he's almost like a big brother to me, but I don't know him.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know. I literally love the dude. Like I could like see him tomorrow and be like, bro, like I genuinely like love you as a person. Like I'm proud of you. Like
yeah, like
I
I
straight
have love
up,
for you, not
like-
like I'm in love with you.
right,
Okay,
yeah.
just gotta
But, like,
make the clarification.
no, like you love someone, like you care about them. Like,
Right.
I want what's best for you type of thing. Like I
Right.
literally will pray for Justin Bieber. Like
Yeah.
when I pray at night, I always make sure to
Throw
be
in
like,
some
yo,
baby.
like, hey, I know this is
Uh-huh.
crazy praying for someone that doesn't know me, but like,
Mhm.
I pray that he's doing good, that he stays on the right path, that this and that, So like, I don't know. I've just developed this connection, I feel like, over time, and
Uh-huh.
he's a pretty successful person. So like, I've always been inspired by that, and like he's always been kind of like the underdog in any situation, and I feel like everybody always undermines what he does.
Yeah.
And no matter how successful he continues to get, his success is always undermined. And his manager said one time, like, they want to always stay the underdogs as long as possible, and that it's cool to have that redemption always. And I love that, because I love being an underdog. I love when people doubt, and I love when people are like, like whatever, and then you come and you just smash it. So
like, oh
yeah, I've always
Put
just
'em to
I
shut
thought
'em
that
up
was
a little bit.
yeah, I thought that was cool. So I've really I've grown up with him for so many years, and so I've always wanted to make music because of that. Like when I was young, I was like, I knew like I've always since I was a kid wanted to be an entertainer. Like I knew I wanted to like be in Hollywood. I wanted to do like that. I wanted to be an actor for a minute.
Yeah.
And then as I got a little bit older, I was like, yeah, like it's not really something I'm passionate about.
Yeah.
I was in a couple movies as like an extra. So I was in We're the Millers with Jennifer Aniston.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
and
I'm
then
learning all these things about you.
Whiskey Tango Foxtrot with
I've heard
Tina
of that.
Fey.
Uh-huh.
And I did a couple episodes on like a show that was shot here in New Mexico. And then there's like a Hulu original movie that I was in. And you can literally like find me in these movies, like see me in the background or like interacting with the, you know, it's cool. Like,
That is cool.
and so I did a couple like extra jobs, and that was fun. You get paid, you know. I got to miss school.
Yeah.
It was cool, but
yeah.
I didn't really love acting. So I was trying to like figure out, but I knew it was in that direction. And so then when I started to really like pay attention to JB and see like him performing and stuff, I was like, dude, that would be sick. So I always was like, from that day forward, when I was like 7 years old, I was like,
7.
I want to like,
crazy,
I want to make
bro.
music. I want to perform on stage. Like that's what I want to do. And so ever since then, that's always been like my main goal. But like, it's kind of developed over time, and you know, social media started to come into play, and I started to be very invested with like YouTubers and like stuff like that. And I got inspired by, you know, Jake Paul, Logan Paul, Tanner Braungart, Tanner Fox. Those were like the top like dudes that really got me into like wanting to make videos. And so I then saw like, hey, this is an outlet to get to where I want to be. So let me like build this up so that I can then reach these heights, because it's no longer the days of like, you need to have an agent, you need to be right place, right time. It's just luck. It's like, no, like you can actually make this happen on your own, like just by yourself.
Right.
So, because everyone always told me that, like, you're not going to make it. You know, the chances of being a famous actor, a famous musician, like, there's just no chance. But I grew up in the perfect time where, like, I was starting to see these people. Like, I remember it was like, it got revealed, like, Jake Paul made like 12 million in a year. And I was
on
like,
YouTube?
Yeah. And this was like in like 2017, 2018. And I was like, there's no way that people are making that much money off of just videos. And so I really saw the potential. Nobody else really did around me, but I started working up, and I got my first check, and I was like, it was $100, but I was like,
Still,
dude,
bro,
this is crazy.
Making
like,
money off of videos.
Yeah, like it's cool to like, you know, see something be fruitful like that from just like sitting in your room and just being like talking to the camera. Like, it's cool. So that kind of is how I got into that, and then I finally got to like make my first song and do all
Feelings,
that.
right?
Yeah, Feelings.
Check it out. Check it out.
Out now. But yeah, that was cool. I got to kind of see how that whole process worked and like figure out how, you know, music was made. And
Who is it? What's his name? Swift, Devin Swift.
Dean London Swift.
Dean London Swift. I don't know why I said Devin. It was close, but that's who mixed it and mastered it. Is that right?
Yeah. So he mixed and mastered the original version. So there's a version that I have that no one's heard before that he mixed and mastered. I liked it, but it just, I don't know. I'm so picky that I just I don't know.
I think that's good for you though. I think you know what you like. You have your vision set and you know what you want it to be.
Right.
And so you're picky because you know how you want it to be. So
I feel like most creatives are
that
very
way. Yeah,
you know,
that's kind of how I am too. So
I
get it. I totally.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing.
Yeah,
you have that like that eye of like, or that ear of like knowing what you want. So I liked it, and I love his mixes. So I was just, I don't know. I just was sitting on it for a long time, and then I met some dude on Instagram, and he makes music. And funny thing, he like loves Spider-Man. And he loves Justin Bieber. Yeah. Like almost as much as I do. Like it's very rare to find
that
like, you know,
yeah.
And super cool dude.
Right,
just he like messaged me, and I was like, oh, okay, he had like 300 followers. I was like this is kind of cool. Like I don't know who this dude is, but like we have a lot in common. So I started like connecting with him, and I checked out his music, and dude is extremely talented. Like, and he obviously has that Justin Bieber inspired sound like I do. Yeah. So I was like, that's sick. So I sent him my song, just kind of just show him like, hey, this is what I'm working on. And I told him that I wasn't really the happiest with it. And he was like, bro, like, do you mind if I kind of like see if I can add anything to it? And I was like, go for it. So I sent him like all the files, the stems, and all the music that I had that Dean had sent me
Mhm.
because it was already mixed, so it already had like auto tune and like effects on it.
Gotcha.
So he didn't have like the raw vocal,
I see.
but it was already mixed. But so he couldn't really do too much with it. But I sent it to him, and then he sent me back his own version with like a couple different creative choices, and he just added a little bit more effects on my voice and stuff, and I loved it. It just
Yeah.
sounded like amazing.
Yeah.
So
exactly what
like
you wanted. Yeah.
he kind of mixed the final version,
Gotcha.
and then he had his guy master
I see.
that final version. So Dean
Yeah.
mixed like
The first
the original,
part, yeah.
and then he added
On
his
top of
mix
it.
on top. So they kind of
It's like a whole
collaborated,
thing. That's pretty sick, though. I
and
mean,
it turned out really nice.
yeah.
I liked it.
Heck
So.
yeah. Are you working on any other? Sorry, let me check this again. Got 5 minutes. Are you working on something else right now, or like a whole group of like songs, like a EP or something like that, or what? Are you, what are you
Right
focused
now, I'm just trying to get out like singles and like
Uh-huh.
just pump stuff out to establish like who I am as an artist.
Yeah.
Because I think that people don't really see me as like someone who makes music.
I see.
Still.
Right.
Like I always get, oh, he's the guy that does the art or the photos, and I'm
I see.
like, hey, like I make music too, like
Yeah.
So
Don't forget about it.
right,
Yeah.
like I work with a lot of music artists, making art for them and taking photos for them, and they're always just like,
Right.
this is the art guy, this is the photo guy, and I'm like, bro, like I make music like
Uh-huh.
as well as you do, like
Yeah.
so like it's it's hard to establish that image, so I think music videos are super important for that. So I'm trying to get a
Mhm.
video made for Feelings.
Yeah.
Still in the process of that, but
Mm-hmm.
just putting out more music to help establish like that. Hey, this kid also makes music. He does this stuff too. He can
Yeah.
sing. He can dance. He can,
Mhm. Literally do everything.
Yeah.
Anytime I introduce you to someone, I'm like, you know who Sebby is? He's like, oh, I don't know. And I'm like, dude, he can do literally anything. Like, you got to know this dude. He can do anything. So that's why I always introduce you.
Thank
even
you.
even Spencer, I was like, have you ever met Sebby? He's like, I don't think so. It's like, this dude can shoot photo. He can do video. He can do graphic design. He can sing. He can dance. I'm like, bro, he's crazy. So,
Thanks.
yeah. But I think to that point, like, the first thing that kind of comes to my mind is, like, the photo, like, graphic design, video side. And so I think you, like, being aware that, like, people don't know you right away as, like, the music guy. And then knowing that you need to, like, make that transition to make sure that that's, like, the first thing. Because it sounds like, you want to be a on-stage entertainer. So,
right.
I mean,
And that's not like, I like doing everything.
Of course.
So like,
Mhm.
I feel like I want to be somebody that can kind of break down the barrier of
Right.
just being defined as one thing, because everybody's always just a singer, just a photographer, just an artist. Like that's why I say multimedia artist, like for everything, because it's like, hey, I do everything, and I want to make it well known that like you can do everything if you want. Like, so that's
I mean,
important.
it's hard to be good at that many
right,
things.
right.
Like,
And I struggle with that. Like,
yeah, it's so. I mean, you're built diff, bro. Like, I don't know.
Thank you.
What else to say. It's pretty insane. So yeah, no, for sure. So heading back to the Justin Bieber topic, you said you like to pray about Justin Bieber, and kind of at night when you're praying, you said you mentioned him. So can you tell me about your prayer life, how much you pray, and how that affects your life?
Yeah.
And how it like helps you or anything like that?
Yeah, so I try and pray as much as I can. It's hard sometimes because like
forget.
Yeah. But I try and pray. I think it's powerful. That's why I was saying, like, I pray for Bieber, because like I think prayer is powerful, and no prayer goes unheard. So I like to pray for as many people as I can, and just kind of like if someone comes to my mind while I'm praying, I'll throw them in, and I'll make it tailored to them. So whoever I'm thinking of, if I'm just like talking, I'm like, okay, like Brandino, like I pray that he's doing good in his career, and that so like I just like to do that because I think it's powerful, and I pray for people that I care about. But I think it's important because it helps you. I don't know. Not every prayer gets answered yes, but
everyone gets heard though.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I feel like it helps me when I'm struggling with something, or when I need something to be revealed, or I need to know what area or path to go down. Like I'm always, cause that's like the number one thing I probably pray about.
Yeah,
is
like for guidance, kind of.
Yeah, guidance of like, hey, like lead me down the path that I'm supposed to go down. Like open up doors for opportunities that are good, and like help me figure out where I need to be, because that's always something that I'm like, trying to figure out, that we're all figuring out, you know.
Right. Did you go to church as a kid? And I know your mom's like she's always posting like Bible verses and stuff like that. So how did that happen as you like grew up?
Yeah, I grew up like in the church.
Was it always Sagebrush?
No,
Okay.
we went to a bunch of different churches, but I think my parents got saved like right after I was born.
Okay.
So they got saved pretty early on when I was a kid, and so I kind of got taught like all of those things, and I grew up learning a lot about it, and just everything. And we would read the Bible at night and do devotionals, and I think I gave my life to Jesus when I was like, my mom knows the exact date, time, and age, but I was probably like 12, I think.
Okay.
But I got baptized.
Did you know what you were doing when you were 12? Did you like understand it completely?
Yeah, I was
impressive,
fully like cognitive to understand like
what it meant,
what it was, and why it was important, and like I don't know. I'm like
at 12, that's honestly like pretty insane. That's
yeah,
crazy.
I mean it is young, but like I don't know. I've always had this like feeling that like I don't know. I never bought the whole like we just appeared here and this is just how life is. But yeah, I just it never made sense to me, and I'm a very like logical person, so like I was just like there's got to be someone up there who created us, and so and then as I got older, obviously I got to understand more and learn more about it, and so it was like this is a fact. Like this is just not my opinion. This is a fact to me. Yeah, and so. I'm not afraid to say that, but might make some people mad. But like, I think that it's important to be aware. And I heard this saying, Lucas Sandoval?
I do know Lucas.
Shout out
dude's
Lucas.
Crazy, bro. I always see him posting like respect, bro. You're built different.
He's
bro.
bold,
bro.
we have to be bold today, I think, because the enemy is bold today. So he said something to me. We're on the phone. We talk a lot on the phone.
Really?
Heck yeah. Yeah, he's a good friend of mine, but we were talking and he said, I care more about people's salvation than their feelings. Yeah. And so it's like, kind of like, this might offend you and this might make you upset, but I care more about where you're going, where you die, when you die, than
your feelings right now.
And I think that's really, really
it's
like
a powerful
smart
way to put it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I've always kind of been very like knowing about that and kind of like trying to help others understand that.
How do you approach that? Like if you have someone that you're like, you feel like the Holy Spirit's like telling you like, bro, you got to talk to this person. Do you ever get, I'm sure you get nervous. Yeah. Like I know it's hard because I do the same thing. I get nervous. Right. I'm like, bro, what do I do?
No, I get nervous too, especially if I know the person. Like it's a lot harder if you know the person. And if you know that they're very far from that. I don't want to, I don't take that saying of like, I care more about people's salvation than their feelings as like I'm gonna force what I believe on you, because that's not what I'm doing. I don't think that forcing your belief on someone is like, you can't do that. You just can't. If someone's set in what they believe, and they sit,
it just makes your side look bad, in my opinion.
And everybody, what sucks is that's kind of like going off of that. People have a preconceived notion about whenever they hear anything associated with that, so they just like. They'll automatically have something that they remembered of a bad experience with it. So I always try and just be as loving and as kind as possible. If I'm just like pushing it on someone, they're not gonna budge. So I just like know that, my goal is to plant a seed. Like if I just make someone think about it, like, the thought will lead to research, and that research will lead to discovery. So even if I just made someone think about it for a second, and maybe they go home and Google something or look in the Bible or something, that's just one step further to them finding the truth. So
that's fair.
It's only as much as I could do. I let the Holy Spirit and God do the rest.
Yeah, I think that's good, because I think forcing. I just think about this a lot, because I'm like, how would I approach a situation where like someone's trying to or where I need to talk to someone about God or something. And I'm like, how do I like say this without trying to force their or force my belief onto them, and then make them be like, oh, what the heck, like I don't like you. And then even if you bring up the Bible, they're like, oh, the Bible, but they don't understand.
Old book.
They don't, it doesn't really click for them. And so when I first started, like I got baptized when was it? Like it's been like 6 months now or something. So
bro, you should have told me. I would have been there. Oh, I would have loved to see that. That's cool.
So it hasn't been that long, but literally just lost my train of thought. What was I saying?
Like when you're first getting like
Uh, that's funny.
You're getting baptized. You were
Yeah, I was
first
talking
getting into all
about
that.
like not forcing onto people.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, so when I first like started looking to it, my friend Josh and Amber, Valens Visuals. I
Yeah.
think you know who that is. Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Shout out Josh, the goat. But Amber, his wife, was the one who kind of like invited me to church, and so kind of what you were talking about, how like a thought leads to like research, and research leads to discovery. They hit me with like, you should come to church with us. So I like went to church, and at that time I was going through like a little bit, and then I found this guy. His name is Jordan Peterson. I don't know if you know who that is,
Mm-mm.
but he's a clinical psychologist. But he has these biblical lectures on like Genesis about like
Oh,
the
cool.
psychological significance of them, and so it caught my like intellectual like brain basically. I was like, oh, this is so interesting because like I'm hearing this super smart guy talk about how smart this is, and so it kind of changed my perception of the way the Bible is like looked at, because people are like, oh, it's just the Bible. It's like some weird, like I don't know.
Right.
People have this preconceived notion, but to me that opened my eyes. Like, oh, it's not just like a weird book. It's like this is some facts, and these are really good things to like live your life by, because they really help you like thrive. So anyway, that's kind of how I got like brought into it.
Yeah.
It was like the research part, and then the discovery after that. So
That's
pretty
cool.
wild, yeah.
Heck
So,
yeah.
yeah. So pretty insane, but
No, that's important. I think that when you start, most people don't like look into it enough to even get a solid idea. Like I feel like if people knew more about it, they would be more open to it.
Yeah.
But so many people are closed off that they don't understand, so they just write it off. But like
Right.
when you really look at all of those things, and you look at who Jesus was, you look at who what the Bible says, and who all these people are and what they did, why it matters, like
Yeah.
you start to understand that like this connects, and it's the only book, the only set of stories that will retell themselves every single
Right.
time it's taught and it's read, because
Yeah.
you'll find something new every time. I've heard the book of Genesis, the story of Adam and Eve, a million times since I was a kid.
Right.
And my pastor's still teaching about it, and I still learn new things to this day every time. And it's like there's no other, like what other book, what
does
other
that?
story, what other thing
Yeah.
does that? Nothing. So
Yeah, for sure.
I think people need to look into it more, be more open to it.
I think the biggest thing, even just in life, is like being open-minded. Because if you're closed-minded, you're not going to be open to new things. You're never going to learn anything else. But if you can be open-minded about just like life and just like things that you experience, I think that's like so like eye-opening.
Right.
So
definitely. That's how you learn. We never stop learning. So like, it's good to have that mindset, because in all things you can continually learn and develop and grow as a person.
So I know Sagebrush is like your main church, and was it an internship or
Yeah.
Okay, so and it was. Tell me what the position was called.
It was just like a creative intern. So I did
Creative
like
intern?
all
Okay, cool.
things.
Yeah.
creative.
What type of things did you experience there, like creative wise?
It was cool. They do a lot of like, since they're a mega church, they have a pretty big budget. So we got to do a lot of cool like music videos, and like really like some creative stuff. And they had some really like elaborate sets, and like all kinds of cool stuff. So that was cool. We rented a sick like 36-foot LED wall, and it was just wild. It was so cool. It was kind of like the technology of what they do with the Mandalorian, where like they use that as like the background for the environment.
Right.
And
I think they did in The Last of Us too.
yeah. And it's like the camera moves, the environment moves with it. Like, it was really cool. We got to like play around with that technology. And that was good, like for me to learn and just kind of be around and operate the cameras. I got to work with cinema cameras, so that was fun, working with like really expensive gear and higher end production stuff. Like just learning all that. I did have a lot of previous knowledge of like just what I've taught myself over the years of learning how to shoot and stuff. But I learned little things about headroom and how to frame a shot and different things like that. And I did photos for them. I did graphic design. I did motion, so I did some animation stuff, and that was cool. Just having a group of creatives that I could just be like, hey, like I can't figure this thing out in After Effects or whatever, like can you help me out? And then if one person doesn't know it, then we can go ask the next. And it's like someone on the team knows the answer to the problem, which is cool. So it was fun. I liked it.
I've never done like a creative internship like that, but that sounds like super dope. It's like being on a film set.
Yeah.
But like but not being afraid to like ask questions of people.
Right.
Because I've done background work and I'm like, oh, I'd be so sick to go talk to like the cinematographer,
Mm-hmm.
so I can like see what they're thinking. It's like I'm background, bro. They think I'm just like some peasant, bro.
Right, right.
Go away, bro. So that's
And
so
what
sick
was
to be.
what was cool is they knew that I had a lot of experience and they'd seen my work before. So
Okay, yeah.
I honestly wasn't even treated like an intern. I was treated like a part of the team because I was so knowledgeable in all of that. And they said like I was the second like batch of interns. They had a batch before me of like multiple people.
Okay.
I was the only one this time around, but like that first time they had people like fresh, no clue about film or photos or anything.
Wild,
so like
that's wild.
they said it was cool. They didn't really have to like teach me a lot because I already knew. So they were kind of just guiding me in the way of how they did it and their workflow, and like, you know, here's how we put it on the drive, and here's how we send it, here's how we export it for the big screens and service, like stuff like that. So that was like the main thing that I had to learn. But skill wise, I was already like up there, so it made their job easy. So I was kind of just like almost like I was just working a part of the team, which was fun. So it was cool.
Transitioning back to your trip with Hondro and all those homies, and then you saw your design on the Times Square, right?
Yeah.
How was that? And
that
did you ever
cool.
finish that video? Have you finished that vlog yet?
I have it. It's
okay.
it's in the process.
I've been looking for it.
I'm
it's
just
okay, though.
I'm trying to figure it out right now.
Fair enough.
Because we shot it in the way of like Hondro's perspective. It was originally supposed to be for him.
Right.
But then, and I was filming stuff for me at the same time for my vlog. And so we had two different like things. But then he was like, bro, just combine them into one and we'll put it on your channel. And so I didn't shoot it to be put together that way. So it's kind of like
a little wonky.
Yeah, and there's more footage of him
than there is
talking, and it just doesn't make sense for me to put that on my channel because it's just him. So I'm thinking of like actually doing like a voiceover type of thing where I tell the trip from my perspective. So then the clips you see are of him talking, and then it goes back to me. So it's kind of the equal amount of both of us.
I see what you mean.
You know, being on screen.
That's a pretty good, I think, like middle ground.
Right. So, but that trip was fun, and I definitely want to get that video up because like, that's the funnest thing about making videos on YouTube, at least, and like kind of vlogging is like you get to see those up forever, and like I still go back and look at old videos of like trips I took with my friends, and like it's just fun to you get to relive that exact like moment in time. So that's like super important to me, and I have a lot of stuff that I got to get out that are, you know, time capsules of certain moments and trips. But that trip was cool. I got to do pictures and kind of be just filming everything, and New York was like amazing. I want
to go to New York so bad.
Loved the environment. It was just it was awesome.
Sounds like your place.
The vibe was cool. I definitely would be. I'm more of an LA kind of guy.
Okay,
I
that's
definitely like
New
California
York
more.
Too hectic?
Yeah,
like to
it
live
was.
there, like
it
to be
was
there all the
literally
time?
exactly like what you think in the movies, like what you see on TV. At least that's what I see. Like, is this go tiny places like literally the city that never sleeps. Like we were eating burgers at like 4 a.m. Like just like
there's hella people still.
Dude, yeah, just
That's
tons of people on the
bro.
street. Like places open late. Like and not just like McDonald's or like Whataburger. Like I'm talking like Boss, like little just little hole in the wall like places is so good. So
that's sick.
It was a cool place, just a cool vibe, and it's a little too urban for me. I like California. It has like the urban city, but then they also have like mountains and like
the beach.
Yeah, the beach,
it's like 45
all that.
minutes. Yeah.
So New York's very just like concrete. You know, But it's cool. It was a cool place. It was a fun trip. I got to connect with a lot of people, and kind of it's cool to be with an artist because as someone who's making music myself, it's cool to see how they perform, how they set everything up, how they got that connection to perform there and do that. And so I take mental notes of like, hey, like, you know, how do I do this in my own way? How do I, you know, get to that point? So it was cool.
Nice. And then you had your design in Times Square. Did you do a backflip in front of it? Is that what it was?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
So the video that I posted was taken by somebody else. I didn't actually get to see it in person.
I see.
So
I got
someone
you.
saw it and videoed it
And sent it to you.
me.
Okay.
So
I got you.
I
That
was
makes more
like,
sense now. I got you.
But it was
Okay.
cool. It was up there
No,
for a minute. It was like
for sure.
replaying for like I think a couple hours.
Yeah.
So it was
Nice.
cool. And I took those pictures and I designed
it. So
that.
it was a Sebby Clemens vision.
Literally, it was a
It
double
was.
whammy. I even threw my name on the
On
the
I remember you
shirt,
showed me that.
and
Yeah,
it was
you
cool. So
photoshopped it. Yeah.
my name
That's
was
sick.
literally on the billboard, which was
Uh-huh.
cool. So
Yeah.
that was fun.
You also shot Lil Wayne, right?
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
then they flew you to, was it, you shot Ja Rule and, was that Ja
Ashanti,
Rule?
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I've never shot like a huge show like that. I've always wanted to. So you put me in your brain. I want to know how that was, like especially the Lil Wayne thing. Like,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It was fun. I don't know. I personally don't like shooting rap shows. I
that's
don't
fair.
like the environment of hip hop
Gotcha.
shows
Uh-huh.
just because of the way that everything's so like lax and like there's too many people backstage, there's too many people on stage.
I
Like
see. That's
there's
fair.
like there's
Were there a lot of
random-
other people shooting too?
Yeah, there was a good amount. I
Okay.
also don't like that either with
I
hip hop
hate
shows.
that.
They
There's
just
so
let
many people.
bro. There's people with like kit lenses, and I'm like,
Bro, what are you doing, bro?
They
No, that's
little
fair.
T6
That's tough.
eyes. I'm
Uh-huh.
like, bro, like so it's like which
That's fair.
I respect. Like that would
Right.
that would have been me at one point, you know, like
100%.
but, like,
when you're trying to really put out the best work, it's tough when there's other people all over it.
right. And
Yeah.
there's especially with big as a performer, a future performer, I'm gonna be super strict with who I allow on my stages, who I allow to shoot. Like
Right.
if I don't know who the photographer is, like no, like
Mhm.
I'm gonna say, hey, I want Brandino to come shoot my show, but he's my personal photographer, so that's it. If you
Mhm.
come to me and you say, hey, Seb, I want to bring on someone else to get different angles, I really trust in their vision, like then I'll be like, all right, let's bring on more people, but like it has to be within my team of people that I know,
Yeah, that makes
because
sense.
like just seeing how all the shows have been managed like that, it's
right.
just,
It's like, oh.
it's hard. So
Mhm.
that's one thing that kind of bothers me because it's hard to like get in and out, and you have to be able to move fast to get good shots, but
Mhm.
it was fun. It's cool to see, like it's almost like a free like front row ticket to see a show, because if you
Yeah.
like the artist, it's like,
Right.
oh my
Sick.
gosh, they're
He's right
standing
there,
right
bro.
next to me, like
Yeah.
so it was cool, man. It was dope for Lil Wayne. I got some really good photos. I got some good ones of Kid Ink too.
Kidding too. That's right.
And he was cool. I got to talk to him backstage because I ran into him. I was literally walking. I was like, and he was right there. I was like, yo, like, and I was like, I showed him some of his photos like in camera, and he was like, bro, those are sick. Like, send those to me. So I got like some contact information, and then he posted those exact ones that I showed him.
That's so sick.
And so
yeah.
that was cool. But
Mhm.
it's cool to work with people like that. Like being with like celebrities and like well-known people is like it's very like nerve-wracking for sure. Like you get kind of like
A little
like
shaky,
especially when you're personally talking
face
to them.
face, yeah.
But like I don't know. I feel like I get in this zone and
Uh-huh.
I'm good, and it's just they're normal people, you know.
Yeah.
So
That's the things you got to remind yourself. Like it really is just human,
right.
But it's like they have this following, or they've done all this, so you're like.
The thing that makes it hard though, that does make me nervous, is some people do treat you like you're less than. So I hate that.
That's tough.
That's one thing I don't like about shooting shows, especially with like bigger people. Like Lil Wayne was cool to shoot, but like him and his whole team was just like
it's
they were
whatever. They're
very
like whatever.
Yeah, I tried to
Taking
talk
turns
to
and
like the
everything.
management guy who was there, who was like running everything,
Uh-huh.
who was on the Young Money team with him, and he was just not like.
Not with it.
He was like,
Yeah.
who are you? Like, why do you want to? Because I was like, yo, man, like, what's your name? Like, my name's Sebby. And he was like, why do you want to know? And I was like, bro, like, I just want to
that's
say what's up and
crazy,
like
bro.
introduce myself. Like,
Uh-huh.
like,
Yeah.
and so it's not cool, but
Respect you for having the courage to even go up to him, though.
Right. You
wouldn't
gotta,
even try
like,
that. Yeah. That's how you
PNB
do
Rock
it, bro.
posted my photos, and
Nice.
he loved the pictures I took of him, and I just went up to him backstage, and I was like, hey, bro, like, what's up? Like, here's some photos I shot before. Like, yours will look like that. And he was like, these are tight, bro. Like, he's like, get my phone number. I was like, what?
Yeah,
And
that's
I got his
crazy, bro.
personal phone number,
Mhm.
and it was cool. I texted him the photos, and he was a cool guy. And I was really bummed when I found out that he
sad,
passed.
bro.
But
yeah, that was so shocking too. That's tough.
but yeah, so that stuff's cool, man. It's cool to do those shows. I love the energy and like just being there with all the
Mhm.
people, just getting into the music. It's fun. There's no energy like a concert.
Yeah,
So.
for sure. I've always liked as like attending concerts. Like it's always such like a vibe. Especially I love when people do like when they'll like sing and then they'll stop singing but the crowd keeps going.
Oh yeah, and
That's
if
like
the
best
crowds,
thing. It's
you
like,
know, yeah.
oh, it's so good. Yeah. So I'm excited for NF later.
Oh yeah, yeah,
it's
we're
gonna
going
be
to
wild.
NF. That's gonna be sick.
Yeah, it's gonna be sick.
I'm excited.
You going to the Posty show or no?
Yes,
You are?
I haven't bought tickets yet, but
Okay.
I wanna get
fair enough.
tickets.
Yeah, if you want to get lawn tickets, I'll be in the lawn.
Oh, I was gonna get pit tickets.
Dude, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair.
I don't know.
I'm
I'm gonna try and get up on stage. That's the goal. Like
Okay.
I want to make either a sign and just be like,
see.
"Yo, bro,
Get me
like,
up there, bro."
like you know
Yeah.
who I am."
Oh, that's
or-
right. I forgot because your video.
Yeah,
dude,
yeah.
I forgot about.
So
that.
I want to backflip with him, or not with him, but like
Up there.
Yeah, I want to backflip on stage during congratulations when he performs it. I
No,
think
that'd be so sick, dude. That'd be
And
so sick.
If I could get his attention before the show, I want
Right.
to be able to bring a confetti cannon, do confetti, and
Like just do the same
flip,
thing, like
same
remake
thing
it on stage. Yeah. No,
and I
that'd be
think I
sick.
could, if I could get his attention on social media, that'd be cool. So I'm gonna start.
Mhm.
I have some videos planned out of like
to try to get
to
his
try
attention
and get-
beforehand.
right because
Yeah.
he did see the response that we made. Remember you were.
Oh,
in
he
it?
did see that. Yeah,
He
yeah.
saw that and he
Okay.
liked it.
That's
So
sick. Okay.
He saw the
did he
response
comment or
to-
anything or no?
No, but
okay.
he liked
at least
it.
He, at least he saw it.
I got the
Okay.
notification. It was like Post Malone liked your post, and I
Heck
was like,
yeah.
"Oh, sick!" So he saw the response to his comment.
Okay, cool.
So I was like, "Ah, there's got to."
He commented on the big one, right? The crazy one. Okay, cool.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So there's got to be a way to get him to notice. And his photographer is like crazy
Adam
talented.
DeGrosse. Is that
Yeah,
his name?
and you can contact him through DM,
Crazy.
is what he says. So
Really?
I'm gonna send him a message, see what happens.
You should. Yeah,
Maybe.
that's sick.
I would love to shoot that show too.
Dude,
that would be
that's-
cool.
That'd be
So,
so sick.
Be like,
yeah.
yo, man, here's my work. Like, if you need an extra shooter, like, that'd
let
be
me know.
tight.
Yeah.
So the NF show too. If I was gonna see if there's a way to
How
get
that
media
goes.
passes or something.
Yeah,
'Cause-
that'd be insane.
that would be
I'd
cool.
literally freak, bro.
yeah,
That'd be
me and
so
you,
sick.
man. That would be
That'd
cool.
be so sick. Yeah.
So
Have you seen NS music videos?
yes.
How like cinematic they
Oh,
are.
yeah.
I forget the guy who does them, but I
what
love
is
that
his
style
name?
of
I don't remember. his
like videography. It's just like it's not so crazy where there's all these effects, but it's just like this like clean shots that are just like they just feel so sick. So.
And it's just a story. Like I don't know.
Mhm.
I like how he ties everything together,
Yeah.
and it's like everything. If you're a fan, you can see how there's like this overarching story and this like
Yeah, from the start
connecting-
of like Mansion all the way to now, like there's this whole
Right.
progression. It's like his character development,
exactly.
and it's so I don't think there's another artist that really has it like a storyline like that.
Right.
So I love that. So
I
much.
agree, and
Uh-huh.
I take inspiration from that, and I'm
Mhm.
like, how do I make my stuff like that too? Because like in preparing for like making my music video for Feelings, I'm like trying to figure out like, hey, I kind of want to do the same thing with my music to where like my music tells a story, and like I am like you were talking about like EP and like album like project earlier, and like
Yeah.
I definitely want to put out like an album of songs. To where it's like first track all the way to last track tells a complete story, like start to finish.
Have you heard the Incredible True Story by Logic?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
Like kind of similar to that, where it's like
Yeah.
a concept album where it has that whole like.
Everything is just connected in it,
Uh-huh.
and so because I think I have a pretty unique story to tell, and so
Mm-hmm.
I want to kind of like weave it in, and with visuals, obviously that's
Yeah.
just the best way to do it as well. And
Mhm.
NF almost makes his music tailored to the video in a way, like to where
Yeah.
you like almost have to see the music video.
Mhm. To get,
And
the
when
full
you
picture.
do,
Yeah.
you like love the song even more.
Uh-huh.
But when you listen to the song without the video, you just see the video in your head.
Right.
And so like that's kind of how I want it to be. And so like with Feelings, that's like the first like introduction of like this happy like blah blah blah, but then it'll start to get deeper and more so I take big inspiration from how he does his creative stuff like that too.
Yeah, no doubt.
He's wicked.
If we get it, dude, figure that out.
I'm trying. I'm trying.
I'll try to figure it out too. We can
Yeah.
work on that together. That'd be crazy. Yeah, when we go out there too, I also want to shoot cars. I have a friend named Isaac.
Oh, cool.
Who does hella cars out there. So since we're gonna be there for like 4 days,
Yeah.
we could probably shoot some cars too. So that'd be
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, let's go do some like photos, because I
Mhm.
always love going to like a new place, and like
yeah,
new environments always are nice
Super
to
dope.
shoot. So
yeah, for sure. You also really like clothes. You're wearing Supreme as we sit here, and you just made your new hats.
yes,
And you've also designed tour merch. I know it's not like official tour merch, but you've like put together some stuff like that.
Mhm.
Do you have more plans for making clothing or anything like that?
yeah, that's I'm trying to get my brand up and running and like figure it out. I've been like working on my personal clothing brand since I think 2019 was when I drafted like some early designs.
Yeah.
So it's been like years of like figuring out blanks, you know, suppliers, manufacturing, like materials, designs. Like I've been working on like clothing for like literally so long. So it's always been a dream of mine to have a clothing brand because I've always loved like clothes and fashion. So like it's changed directions over the years. In 2019 it was very like it had a direction, and then it changed a little bit, and it changed, and now I think I have the clearest vision of how I want it to be, and it's kind of going to be something that is for people that are like me, that are visionaries. And obviously my brand is Sebby Clemens. Vision is like, you know, very prominent in what I do. So like my clothing brand will be for the people that are like that as well, for the visionaries, for the creatives, for the people who change the world by being creative. So that's kind of like the idea behind it.
Yeah.
But
nice.
Yeah.
What are your favorite brands? I'm sure Supreme is probably one of them. But do you have any like brands that you really click with, or like really like the aesthetic too, or anything like that?
Yeah, I like Fear of God a lot.
I love Fear of God, bro.
stuff's
After like I
sick.
read like the whole story behind Fear of
Right,
God, and like
yeah.
Jerry Lorenzo's so sick. So, and his lookbooks are like the cleanest, bro.
Yep.
I'm like, they're so sick. So
I agree.
Yeah.
I love the silhouettes. I love the materials. I love the message behind it, which most people don't know. You see a lot of non-believers wearing it,
right,
and they don't even know what the
what's
meaning
up,
is.
bro. But they're out
So
here, bro.
it's cool.
Yeah.
It's super cool. And he actually designed Bieber's Purpose Tour merch.
Okay, nice.
So like all
Yeah.
of that
he's
whole
crazy, bro.
thing was like his creative genius. But
Yeah, I bought
of
one
God.
Fear of God piece,
Oh really?
but I was trying to get it like, because I, similar to you, like the baggy look, I kind of try to lean that way. But I went a size too large, and because like it was like they were already sized up a little bit, and then I went a size too large, so it was like a dress on me.
Oh
like,
man.
oh no. So I spent a little grip of money on it, and never didn't even get to wear it. So that was pretty sad. But yeah, Fear of God's sick. I like Fear of God a lot.
Yeah, I like Fear of God. Supreme's cool. They have some cool stuff. I'm not the biggest fan anymore because they're not. Their pieces aren't very like timeless in the sense that they last a long time. Like Fear of God's so simple that it I feel like it has a good
it'll stand the test of time.
Yeah,
it'll
like,
still look good in 20 years.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah,
I like simple brand. Kith is also a good one.
Kith is my
of course.
favorite, bro. I've been debating like a piece that they have, and I'm like, I should not do this, but it's so sick. So, but yeah, I love Kith. I just like their whole vibe too, and like everything. And they collab with so many people. They just did like a Star Wars collab,
Right?
Like, and I'm like, bro,
they had
so
a Spider-Man
sick,
collab.
They had a Spider-Man collab
I thought
too.
that was sick.
Like,
yeah,
dude, I like Kith a lot. Kith
they had like their box logo with like, and it was filled in with the webs to make the kit.
No,
it was sick.
So fire.
It was cool.
That's super dope.
Yeah, I like Kith, but
there's a Aim Leon. Oh, I forget what it's called. Aim Leon Door or something like that. I don't know if you ever heard of that.
That sounds familiar.
Okay, yeah, similar, like just clean, like simple, like their lookbooks are fresh too. Like I really like them a lot. A lot of times when I'm trying to shoot too, I'll look for like fashion lookbooks at like hypebeast.com or something. I'll just go through and look through all the inspiration. Yeah, and people have some crazy stuff, like super creative. Some of it I'm like, I don't know.
Right.
But some stuff I'm like, dang, I didn't even like think about that. I did stuff for Limitless with Zay a while back with Josh and Amber. They modeled it. And so I got a lot of inspiration from that, and I got some like my favorite like fashion pictures I've ever taken.
Those are sick.
Yeah.
Because I'm like very invested in that like kind of culture.
Yeah.
It helps like with my own stuff because I'm like, okay, I know exactly how my photos I want them to be. I know what the website's gonna look like. I know
you have the whole vision.
The marketing. I have everything like set. It's just I'm at the point where I just need to do it. Like, and also like I think it's building up that the brand for it so that there's a demand, because like right now I'm still kind of like the graduation, the Spider-Man, so like I'm really trying to hone in on like creative like photo, video, graphics, art, all things art. And so then once I build this brand to be more like that, when I do drop this clothing brand, it's gonna be for the people that watch me, because that's the audience that likes my stuff, and they're gonna identify with what the clothes mean, because they watch me for what those clothes represent, and those clothes also not only are by me, but they represent bigger than me ideas. So
No, that's sick. I'm excited for that for sure.
Yeah.
Got some baggy shirts, bro.
Oh yeah, they're probably gonna be a little pricey, so they might be on the higher end.
I think the way I've been kind of transitioning into the way that I think about clothes is like, I'm not gonna buy a piece like unless I like know it's quality, but because I know that it will last a long time. And so if I really click with that like piece of like clothing, then I know that like, okay, maybe I spent $150 on it, but I know I'm gonna wear it for the next like 10 years, right? So it's not just like a a shirt, whatever I spend, $30 and then it goes away. But it's a piece that I'll have for a long time and that I can take care of and actually like keep it, and it means a lot to you. So
especially like basic pieces, like I don't mind spending like, like just like solid colors like beige or white or black, so that you get a thick heavyweight t-shirt.
Yeah,
do that nice thing shirt. Is your go-to basic shirt.
Exactly.
You can layer with it, whatever. So
I'm gonna have you adjust it one more time. It just fell in. There you go. Nice. Very good. Yeah, I think like I love basic t-shirts, but I don't like when they get like faded. I'm like, oh, now I gotta go buy another one.
Right.
But it's like if you get a nice t-shirt at first and you just keep that, then it's it's there and you don't have to spend money on it ever again, or at least not for a long time.
Right.
And it's better for the environment too, because I know like a big issue is like people buy these like cheap shirts and then they they get worn out, whatever, they don't want them anymore, and then they end up in a landfill, and then it's like, oh, there's more trash to add to the world.
Exactly.
So I think it is kind of like a service to spend money on quality clothing, but don't splurge and be a goofball, obviously. But I don't think there's too big of an issue with making your clothes expensive as long as the quality is where it needs to be. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's been items that I've bought and I get a Gildan hoodie and I paid $100 for it.
Yeah, like $100, bro. You just paid $70 off me, bro.
Yeah, right.
$80 off me. I'm like,
literally.
I just feel like I got gypped. I don't even want to wear it anymore.
Yeah. So, yeah, I feel like people, and it helps perceive this like luxury, idea behind it.
Right.
And that's cool, like the streetwear type of thing. But I love like clothes that fit good, that are heavy, that are thick, that feel soft. Like that's
just a nice piece.
My favorite.
Yeah.
So I don't mind spending, and so I know other people won't mind, splurging on that as well.
Right. But yeah, I think another issue that I have with clothing is like if it's a big logo. Like I like the piece, but there's a fat logo on it. I feel like I don't know, like a douchebag, I guess, when it's like, someone reads it and like, oh, this dude spent that much money on his clothes. But it's like, I don't do that all the time, right?
Right.
It's just like I like it, bro. Like it's a nice piece and it kind of resonates with me, and it's not like I'm, have a closet full of stuff that I don't even wear,
Right.
It's like, or it's like kind of similar to like when someone has a sick car and they never drive it.
Yeah.
So it's like
what's the point?
Exactly. So if you get a nice piece of clothing, wear it all the time and, take pride in that. So
definitely.
Yeah, for sure. Last thing, do you still want a Camaro?
Man, that's a good question. I definitely want one in the future.
Okay. Do you have any other dream cars that you sway towards other than a Camaro now?
The Revuelto Lambo is insane.
Oh, is that the electric one?
Is
it hybrid? Is that the hybrid one?
Hybrid.
Okay, yeah.
That one's crazy. I think that one's cool.
You might have the jump on me on that. I don't know if I know exactly what it looks like. You might know more about that.
It kind of looks like the Cyan. It's like the headlights are very unique, but I literally saw that you liked a bunch of posts on there.
Okay, then I'm sure I saw it.
So you've seen it before.
Is it the one that Stradman pre-ordered? Do you know who Stradman is?
Yeah, it was.
It is that one? Okay, then I have seen it.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
cool.
I thought that one looked sick, and I liked the Aventador, but there were things I didn't like about it. The SVJ was probably my favorite.
The SVJ is my favorite. I love that car.
I loved that.
It's beautiful.
But there's just, I don't know. I liked aspects of the Huracan. But when they announced that one, I saw it. I was like, that's sick. That's the one. So I like that one. That's definitely in the cards for sure. But I love my BMW. So
yeah, that's right. I forgot you just got your car.
It's a blast. So I definitely want to get an M3.
Yeah.
I love the BMW family. Just when I bought the car, it was cool. Like, just everyone was so cool.
Right. Was it a Camaro that you wanted initially? Is that what we talked about?
Yeah, it was a Camaro.
I had to make sure I wasn't messing
up. It was,
or goofing.
yeah.
Okay.
And I did want to. I literally, I could have gotten a Camaro with the same price of what I paid for that, but the BMW is cool. It's classy. It's like luxury.
It's classy. Yeah.
Very like and the Camaros are cool, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I only like it because of Transformers. So like,
the homie
you
Bumblebee.
know, yeah.
Yeah,
So
fair
when I
enough.
do get a Camaro, it will be. I'll make
Get
it a
yellow.
replica, and I'll do
Okay.
it.
Nice.
I'll get it. I'll probably take it to West Coast Customs and do like a sick, like completely like
That'd be sick.
redone after one of the
Make
movies.
it an actual Transformer.
Actual, yeah, like Autobot logos
Yep,
on the tires, like
fair enough.
custom made pieces. Like I
Yeah.
want it to be literally
Legit.
Bumblebee because I
Yeah.
love Transformers.
That's
So
Are you gonna see the new movie?
yeah,
You
I'm
are?
excited.
Okay, fair
I'm
enough.
hyped.
That'd be sick.
I wanted to go to the premiere, but I didn't get an invite. So.
Oh, sad. Nice.
The next
Cool.
one. The next one.
There you go.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, this has been sick. I think we're at I think about an hour now. So
Cool.
wow.
Heck yeah.
My dog right here. Crazy.
Yes,
All
sir.
right. Good day, fellas. Sheesh.